Abby! Hi! How's everyone doing? Fair warning, it might be a bit of a shorter stream tonight. I'm feeling a little under the weather physically. Nothing like major, just a little sleepy, a little headachy. So I'm just going to dive right in. We are continuing on with China About Big Top. Once again, I just want to start the stuff for Asatani. Thank you. Now, we left off right before the trial, so we've done our first bout of evidence gathering, and now it is just fun trial nonsense. I think we might get to talk to Gumshoe. That's always exciting. Hi Sam, how you doing? December 29, 9:43 AM. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 5. And hello, Professor Butter. I'm okay. A little sick, but all good. I'm glad you're good. God, I forgot how good the music is. Every time I load this up, I'm like, oh my god, the music! Good morning, Max. Max? Milk. What? If I don't have a glass of milk before I go on stage, I just can't function, sweetie. Stage? Don't worry, there won't be a stage. All you have to do is sit down. She has been through this twice before now, so she would know. I guess. Nick, Max is really nervous. That's understandable. Hey, my sweeties. What? You don't think I should fly, do you? Huh? You know, you've got to make a good first impression. When I enter the room, maybe I should fly in and warm up the crowd a little. No. We can't be having you flying around the courtroom. It just wouldn't be right. Imagine if you hit someone. Don't worry, Max. Just do what Nick says and everything will be okay. Oh, sweetie. What is it this time, Max? Why don't you try flying into the courtroom? I can see it now, the dashing young lawyer flying fabulously in from above. One glimpse of that and everyone in the room will be on your side. Max, really? No one needs to fly today. No. Nick? What's with that look in your eyes? I like the sound of that. Dashing young lawyer flying fabulously. December 29, 10 AM, District Court, courtroom number 2. He's named Phoenix after all, he's supposed to fly. The text just go, huh? What? Your Honor, get on with it. Oh, sorry. I just realized that the defendant's name is Billy Bob Johns. So... well, isn't the defendant also known as Maximilian Galactica? Yes, Your Honor, but he does often go by that name. You know, my grandchild is a huge fan of his. I think everyone here wouldn't mind if we call the defendant Maximilian Galactica. It sounds more friendly. Weird bias for court? Okay, I guess we don't have an issue with it. I wonder if that is to our advantage? Ms. Von Karma, your opening statement, if you please. I hope you didn't bother thinking you'd win this one, Mr. Phoenix, right? Eh? That spirit channeling trial was a sham! I refuse to acknowledge its legitimacy. It did not count! Do you hear me? She must still be upset about what happened last time. You have no chance. Zero. Zilch. Nada. Not losing this case. Why, you ask? Because it is not in the nature of a Von Karma to lose at anything. I guess being born with the name Von Karma is a free pass to be arrogant and annoying. Watch and learn, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I will show you the textbook procedure for proving how absolutely guilty you are. Me? Guilty? Tommy! It will be my ultimate revenge. But it's not like it'll bring her dad back. There. Opening statement complete. Now let's hurry and wrap up this waste of time.
Very well. You may call your first witness, Miss Von Karma.
Detective Dick Gumshoe, get up there now. Just oof, ouch. At least she couldn't hear Maya. Sorry to keep you from work, as I'm sure you need every penny you can earn, Detective.
Don't mention it. It's no trouble at all. I've been looking forward to this.
Very well. I would like you to begin by shedding light on the events in question.
At your service, sir. All right, Detective, you may proceed with your testimony.
Details of the events.
Night of the crime, snow was falling until 9:40 p.m., making it extremely cold out. All of the circus performers were gathered in the big top to practice their routines. Practice session broke up around 10 p.m. The murder itself took place in the plaza in front of the lodging house at 10:15 p.m. The victim was found bent over a wooden box dead as a doornail. The cause of death was blunt force trauma that snapped a vertebrae in his neck. I see. He was beaten to death. Here's the autopsy report for the victim. The court accepts this into evidence.
Autopsy report added to the court record. Time of death, 10:15 p.m. Cause, blunt force trauma to the back of the head.
A blunt object, Very well. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor. Alright, let's go. Let me ask you about the snow.
It was nearly a blizzard up until the time of the crime.
Did it pile up?
It wasn't such a big deal. Maybe about 1.5 inches was on the ground. The snow froze in place and stayed on the ground until the next day.
The snow... Let me see. There's got to be more to this. What's the matter, Nick? I need to take a look at the court record.
Mr. Gumshoe, what were the members of the circus doing on the night of the crime? All of the circus performers were gathered in the big top to practice their routines.
When you say all of the circus performers, who do you mean?
Everyone but the dancers and staff were there. Regina the animal tamer, Murray the clown, Ben the ventriloquist, and of course the defendant, Maximilian Galactica, and his victim, the ringmaster. Oh, I almost forgot. Regent the tiger was there as well.
Out of curiosity, what about the circus monkey?
When I was investigating yesterday, he happened to snatch my wristwatch. Detective, you are welcome to file a police report after these proceedings. Practice session broke up around 10 p.m.
After the practice was over, where did everyone head off to?
Regina was playing with Regent, while Mo went back to his room, tired from work. Ben the ventriloquist went through the front gate absorbed in his own world. The ringmaster and Max went off to the ringmaster's room to talk privately. Talk privately, huh? That's awfully suspicious. You wouldn't happen to know what they were talking about, would you?
It seems they were negotiating Max's salary. Actually, Max was asking for Regina's hand in marriage.
The murder itself took place in the plaza in front of the lodging house at 10:15 p.m.
I'd like you to be a bit more specific about the events at 10:15 p.m.
Okay, not a problem, pal. We've got a witness that told us how the whole thing went down. Ow!
This is totally meaningless. Time to move on.
Alright, we'll just have to revisit that testimony later.
Francisca, that's very suspicious of you.
Detective Gumshoe, would you mind telling us how the victim met his end? The victim was found bent over a wooden box, dead as a doornail.
A wooden box?
That's right. The victim must have been carrying the wooden box when he was killed. Carrying the box, huh? It was a rather strange wooden box, Your Honor. What do you mean? Well, it was much heavier than it looked, not to mention it was locked. Locked, you say?
Wooden box added to the court record. This may be my only chance, so I might as well ask some questions. Do you mind telling us what was inside that box?
Well, when we found the box, it was locked tighter than Fort Knox. So we took it back to the station and cracked it open. All that was inside was this little bottle. Bottle? What is that, detective? Exactly what it looks like, Your Honor. It's a condiment bottle.
What's inside the bottle?
It's filled with pepper. Pepper? Why in the world was it locked in that big box?
There was only one little bottle in that huge box. I wonder if that has some sort of special meaning? Small seasoning box added to the court record.
The cause of death was blunt force trauma that snapped a vertebrae in his neck.
According to the autopsy report, the murder weapon was a blunt object, correct?
You've done your homework, pal.
And you haven't found this murder weapon, have you? The police are searching for it as we speak.
My theory is that it is something the perpetrator ran off with. You would think so, especially since you didn't find it on the scene. No, I bet he made it disappear with magic. Well, I think we have a good feel for the details of the event now.
I guess that's all we're gonna get out of Gumshoe in this case. You mean all we're gonna get out of him is that little bottle of pepper? Now that we have wrapped up with the detective, I'd like to call my next witness.
I'm not even off the stand yet.
Obviously, but that's due to you being slow and unable to take a hint.
I don't know, but wrapped up has such a mean sound to it. I'm a sensitive guy.
Aww, Gumshoe.
Thank you very much, Detective Gumshoe. You may step down. Miss Von Karma, call your next witness.
I would like to call Mr. Benjamin Woodman to the stand. She must be talking about Ben the ventriloquist. I wonder if Chillo will show up on the stand as well? Please state your name and occupation for the record.
This is Trillo, isn't it? So it's...
My full name is Trillo Quist. I'm employed as an operatic tenor.
Excuse me? The witness called to the stand was one Mr. Benjamin Woodman, ventriloquist.
That rogue must be cutting off your circulation. I said that I was a singer. Maybe you don't believe me. Fine. I'll grace you with a song. At him. Me, 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 me. The world of the law. Exciting and daring. Guilt or innocence. Decided by a judge dressed up like a woman. Well, what do you think? It had a good rhythm.
It's just the lyrics. They leave something to be desired, so to speak. Trillo, you know better than to insult a judge.
Shut up! Just look at your nose. You would think you'd have the sense to fix it. So ugly I want to punch you in the face on the off chance swelling would help. You know that your nose is the reason you'll never be an A-list star. Celebrities must really enjoy saying everything that flashes into their minds.
What's going on here? Order! Order! I demand to know who the witness is. Don't worry about me, sir. I'll let Trillo handle this. I'm not worried about you one bit. I'm worried about Ow!
You won't get anywhere trying to figure out this witness. Now, let's proceed. What you witnessed. Once practice was over, I left the tent with the stooge. Clown. Once we got to the lodging house, I ditched him and went back to the plaza's entrance. That's when I saw Max heading towards the scene of the crime. He was the only one heading that way. How could that punk not be the killer? Then the police showed up and took Magic Boy away. You saw Maximilian Galactica heading towards the scene. You're sure of that? Without a doubt. He had on his silk hat, cloak, and the dumb white roses on his chest. How can you mistake someone with that crazy get-up and his nose stuck up so high?
That's enough. I think we all get the picture. Just one thing. You said you ditched the clown.
That's right, dress boy.
Well, since you weren't with him, couldn't that mean the clown committed the crime?
He's got a point. What a shame. It was a nice theory, but the clown can't be the culprit.
Why is that?
Here's absolute proof.
A silk hat?
This was found at the scene of the crime. It belongs to the defendant. Without question, he was wearing his signature hat during practice. If the clown was the murderer, there would be no reason for this hat to be at the scene.
Well done, Miss Von Karma. Your prosecutorial skills are unrivaled. Well done.
And that was so cute! I love— oh, sometimes her text just goes. Thank you for stating the obvious. Mr. Phoenix Wright, what do you have to say?
Okay. I guess she's the boss again today.
Alright, cross-examination. Let's head over and press on— oh, please. This statement. You saw Max and only Max, right, Trillo? That's right. That makes him the killer. There was only one person headed that way that night.
That makes quite a bit of sense and makes Max one suspicious character.
There's more to this story than meets the eye. Is there something amiss in this? That's a bit strange, don't you think? What's strange? That you only saw Max. Doesn't it seem like you should have seen someone else as well?
What? Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Who else do you suppose this witness could have seen?
Now, I believe we know that the victim should have been there.
That's the victim.
That's correct. If Trillo was at the entrance to the plaza, he should have seen the ringmaster as well. Obviously, the ringmaster arrived at the scene of the crime before the witness could have seen him. Anyone with sense could have figured that one out. What are you talking about? The ringmaster and Max went together to the ringmaster's room. Is that according to the defendant? A likely story. If Maximilian Galactica was supposed to be in the ringmaster's room, why was he, just as the witness stated, at the scene of the crime?
I see. It seems that at this stage I have no reason to doubt this witness's testimony. And there are clearly no conclusive contradictions.
He's right. A brilliant judgment, Your Honor. Now, let's move along with the testimony. Trillo wouldn't happen to have an ulterior motive for incriminating Max, would he? Well, Max is part of that bitter love triangle with Regina. Which is probably why Max conked him over the head. Nick, wasn't Ben the one who got knocked over the head? Yeah, I think so. I don't know anymore. Okay, and then I also want to press on this statement. Why the plaza's entrance? To do some thinking, of course. It was awfully cold out that night, especially with all the snow around. Wouldn't thinking in your nice warm lodging house have been a better idea? Mr. Phoenix Wright, I think you should leave the thinking to the witness. Watch out, Phoenix, you might hurt yourself. But I'm a good thunker. At least my teachers always said I was. Okay. Where are we? Around what time did the police arrive at the scene? I suppose that would have been around— hey, what time was it? Dee, hi! I hope you enjoy it was a spa, right? I hope you have fun at that. Thank you for dropping by for a second. Thank you for the hydrate. I will take care of myself. Glug glug! I suppose that would have been around— hey, what time was it?
I think it was around, I'd say a bit after 10:30 p.m., I think.
Practice ended at 10 p.m., so you hung around the lodging house the entire time?
I guess that sounds about right.
Wasn't it awfully cold? I can't believe you'd just stand outside in that weather.
Well, the truth is...
Will you shut up, you big-nosed dope? Why are you telling him anything extra? Why can't you believe that we'd just stand outside in that weather? Well, maybe you were waiting for someone. What? Who said we were waiting for someone? Mr. Phoenix, right. We can all do without your off-handed theories. I'm glad you'll enjoy it. I'm sorry about your Wi-Fi. But this witness, he's cracking under the pressure already. I'm onto something.
Mr. Wright. Who do you suppose the witness was waiting for out in the cold that night?
Profiles? That would be Miss Regina. Well, if he was waiting outside in the cold, it was for one person. And one person only. He was waiting for the animal tamer, Regina. You were waiting outside for Regina to come back to the lodging house. Am I mistaken?
Is this true? Well, you can't really ask me that question.
Who cares who I was waiting for that night? What's important is what I saw. Don't you forget it.
Well. The puppet may be a bit stiff, but he's right.
Alright. Hi, Brady! How you doing? There's obviously a reason why this witness was there that night. He spent all that time waiting for Regina to arrive. Moreover, even if someone else would have walked right in front of him, I doubt he would have paid them a second thought. Doing good? That is Sora Poggers. Ah!
That makes perfect sense.
What did you just say? The witness saw the defendant at the scene of the crime. We pogging! Hell yeah. However, he did not see the victim on the way to his eventual demise. If you accept that, then you must accept that there is a high likelihood that he could have missed someone else other than Max heading to the scene. Ow! There is absolutely no proof that the witness was waiting for the animal tamer. I guess you got me. Alright. I'll spill the beans for real this time. It's true. I was waiting for Regina. Pain! Don't volunteer things.
Mr. Quist, tell us the truth this time, and I mean the whole truth. Were you or were you not waiting for Regina at the entrance to the lodging house?
I was waiting to propose to her.
You were what? Waiting to propose?
What's the matter? You think that humans have a monopoly on marriage?
The matter of puppet marriage is not under review in this case.
You're the judge. I mean, look at your horrible outfit.
More pain.
Thanks to your bumbling, my perfect plan is not so perfect anymore. Now we have to waste time getting to the bottom of some silly proposal by a puppet. Witness testimony about the proposal. Don't be so surprised that I was going to propose to Regina. I even had something to give her. I kept it in my pocket, waiting for the chance to propose and give it to her. Of course, I also had it in my pocket that night. It was a present for her. Without a whip in the courtroom? You know what? If Franziska tried to take a whip into the courtroom and I was the one tasked with stopping her, I simply wouldn't. And hi, Keith! Sorry about the spoilers, but wanted to say hi. Lovely to have you drop by. I hope you have a really good day. In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I've still got it in my pocket.
You were going to propose. You. A puppet.
Don't be so obtuse. Just because I'm a puppet doesn't mean I can't love.
I guess you're right. Just because I'm old doesn't mean I couldn't propose to her too.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does, Judge.
Exactly.
His Honor is looking a little less than honorable right now.
Okay, Mr. Wright, please continue with your cross-examination.
What was with that sigh at the end? Okay. Had something to give her. What was it exactly that you planned on giving her?
You know exactly what I was going to give her, numbskull. The only thing I could find that could match Regina's beauty.
Answer his question, what was it?
I'm gonna die when you hear this. It's an engagement ring!
Engagement?
Engagement ring?
Wow, those two nearly fell out of their chairs. Mr. Phoenix Wright's joke has gone too far. Time for this to end right here. Ancestor's whip looks like it's about to lash out at almost anything. One hit from that thing will probably shut someone up for a long time. Pain equals bad! Thank you, Phoenix. Pain does in fact equals bad. I'm really sorry to do this to you, baby. Maybe something of a joke, but this is a historic moment. The first time Ow! I advise you to cut this argument short.
I'm going to have to agree with the defense here. Will the witness please revise their testimony? Specifically about the engagement ring. I'd like to stick to facts, not sociology. I'm sure to enjoy sweating the details, especially for a man in a black bathrobe.
Planned on giving an engagement ring to Regina. Kept it in his pocket. Had it in his pocket that night. Now where did we? I feel like we found it somewhere else. Wasn't able to give it to her, so he still got it in his pocket. Really? Are you sure? In that case, why do I have it? Triller, do you mind if I show you something?
What is it?
What are you talking about? Uh-oh. Looks like they're going to double team me now. Do you recognize this ring?
Ah! That's mine! Give it back, thief! Thief!
Didn't you just testify about this very object? I believe you said, in the end I wasn't able to give it to her, so I've still got it in my pocket. Why then? Do I have it right here? Rest in pieces, puppet.
What is going on here?
Ben, say something! Eh? Don't put me on the spot like that, Triller. I found this in Money's room.
Money's room? You mean a room they put money, like a bank vault?
That filthy monkey is gonna get what's coming to him.
Mr. Quist, I would prefer it if you avoided slandering innocent fiats in my court.
Is that what a fiat is? It's a vote? I thought it was a car. That TikTok audio that's been going around, the my money don't jiggle jiggle, it folds. I'm writing in a fiat. Is it not a car? Sorry. Anyway. Well, Your Honor, money really is a monkey in every sense of the word.
Ah, I see. Well then.
Money likes to go after the shiniest things that he can find and gather them up.
Shiny things?
Triller, when was this ring stolen from you?
Well, I suppose it was that time. You know, that night. The night of the crime.
What did you just say? Details. I need more details.
Well, it was stolen right after Max showed up in the plaza.
Right about when you saw the defendant walk past, correct?
Well, I guess you might, be able to say that. The ring might have, well, it could have been taken around that time.
Yo! Oh. Very, very interesting.
Ben, what's with you? Whatever. Has nothing to do with anything, especially not who committed the murder. It's not for you to decide what has to do with what. Now, Triller, back to the topic at hand. I haven't admitted a thing. Not I, Mr. Trillerquist. What did you do when the ring was taken, Triller? You know exactly what I did. I chased after that ring-searching monkey money. But you weren't able to catch up with him, were you? It's all this slow loafy fool called Ben's fault. While he was fumbling his way through the snow, that dumb monkey was able to get away.
That is indeed an incredible shame.
Well, this does indeed prove one very important point.
Prove an important point? What point could that possibly be?
Ben doesn't exercise enough. There is a huge contradiction in this witness's testimony.
Contradiction?
The witness just testified to the following effect. Up until the police arrived, he didn't move from the entrance to the plaza. However, the witness just stated that he chased after Money the monkey. When the witness was off chasing Money, there was no one watching the plaza.
What is the meaning of all this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Where are you going with this little theory of yours?
What do you think would happen if somebody clipped on Kamaku?
I think that they would find your body in pieces.
In little whip-marked pieces. It depends who it is, really. But at this point, I don't think she'd take it very well. I'm saying that there is no possible way that the witness saw the plaza the entire time. That's why I'm going with this little theory. Which leads me to my next point. It is entirely possible that someone other than the defendant was at the scene.
Interesting, Mr. Wright.
Well then tell me this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Do you have any proof that something slipped past this vigilant ventriloquist?
Well, he obviously didn't see the victim, the ringmaster, arrive on the scene.
However, that doesn't change the fact that he saw the defendant arrive.
The witness is lying. He's blinded by his rivalry with Max.
Well, the defense's argument does hold water. This witness does have a history of animosity toward the defendant.
What? How dare you? I wouldn't lie just to get that dog face in trouble. He's not even worth it. I saw him. No doubt about it. I saw that worthless liar.
Well, just for clarity's sake, let's flesh out exactly who you saw on that night.
Ha! I've told you so many times, you'd think you'd know my story's not changing. You've already changed your story, Stick Boy, and I'm sure it'll change some more.
Where there is one lie, there are usually many more behind it.
Exactly, Maya. That's why we have to keep after him.
Yeah.
She's so cute, I love her. Witnessing Max. I'll give you that I was waiting that night for Regina, but it doesn't change the fact that I saw Max in the plaza that night. He showed up after I'd been waiting there for about 5 minutes. I said good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. I'm absolutely sure it was him. I saw Maximilian Galactica at the scene. There's no way I could mistake someone wearing those 3 ridiculous symbols. Is that all you saw, Triller? Did you just see someone wearing those ridiculous symbols? How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, witnesses? The clothes do not equal the person. I love Maya, but like, I prefer her sister simply because I am a simp. I totally get it. I simp for Mia. I love Maya. I protect her. Maya is my charming little sister who I adore. Mia is... Mummy? Sorry. Mummy? Sorry.
So that means the money didn't show up until after you saw Max.
That's right. Money ran up less than a minute after I saw Max. Then Money snatched the ring and you went chasing after him? There are those like cute protect at all costs and then there is the mummy. Yeah!
How long was it until you came back to where you were waiting?
Well, let's see. I'd say about...
I suppose 5 minutes, I think.
So the victim could have arrived on the scene in that 5-minute stretch.
Mr. Red, please proceed with your cross-examination.
Okay. Now, we want to ask him why the hell he would have said good evening to Max. So you testified that you said good evening to Max that night?
You must enjoy asking incredibly obvious questions. You say good morning in the morning and good afternoon during the day, right? And it's obvious that I'd say good night to someone at night. Oh, Ben, you got something to add? Let me guess. That's not it, Trillo. You say good evening at night.
I'm sorry, Trillo. Mr. Quist, I would prefer if you kept your ventriloquist act outside of the courtroom.
Impossible. The former lives and breathes its performances. You should know better.
There's got to be something wrong with this bit of testimony. Isn't that a bit strange to you?
What do you mean?
Well, if you hate Max so much, why would you bother being nice to him? It strikes me as somewhat strange.
Why would it strike you as strange?
Exactly. How is it strange to be cordial to one of your co-workers? Franziska, have you ever been cordial to a co-worker? Well, if it was simply just being cordial to a co-worker, I would understand. Ow! That hurt! Maybe you should think of having some proof before your lips start flapping next time. Proof is everything in this world. You should have learned that back in grade school. There's no reason that Trillo would ever say something nice to Max. But how do I go about proving that with the evidence? Flipping is everything in this world. But I'm sure you already learned that one. I guess I can give it a shot.
Witness will resume his testimony.
Okay. Yeah, these 3 ridiculous symbols, huh? Tell me more. Those 3 ridiculous symbols, huh?
Out of curiosity, exactly how many times have you asked that question by now? If you're gonna ask again, I'll answer with a chorus. Everyone together now.
So cat.
Cloak. White roses. Thank you very much.
Maya, you didn't have to join in, did you?
But it's fun shouting out with everyone else.
There has to be a hole in this testimony somewhere. I agree. But do we have the proof to make something stick?
All we can do is try, right, Nick?
You've got to have something that will prove useful. Alright, time to go to work. Okay. Said good evening, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. Why would you say good evening to him when he smashed you over the head with a broken bottle earlier? Trillo, is it not true that you had a fight with Max on the day of the murder?
A fight?
A fight over Regina, to be exact.
It wasn't that big of a deal. It was just an argument. A disagreement at most.
A disagreement usually doesn't end with someone getting clunked over the head. That morning, Ben got clobbered over the head by Max, didn't he?
What? Is that an admission of assault and battery?
Ouch!
Before we handle that, we should wrap up the defendant's murder charge first. The truth is that on the day of the crime, the defendant and witness had a huge fight. There is absolutely no way that they would have suddenly become cordial that evening. Moreover, just consider the personality of the witness on the stand. There's no way a puppet this lewd would just up and say good evening to his rival.
Quack!
Get him, Phoenix! Are you saying this witness is lying? That he is trying to frame the defendant by claiming to have seen him at the crime scene?
I didn't tell a single lie. Honestly, I just...
That's enough from you, Mr. Quist. Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor?
Let's clarify this testimony for the court. Could you explain your theory about who the witness actually saw that night?
He saw a different person. It is my belief that the witness did indeed see someone that night. It was just someone else. That's who he said good evening to. What kind of theory is that? The correct one. Furthermore, I don't believe the person the witness saw was Max at all.
What?
If he had truly met Max that night, there would have been no greeting at all. Which means there is only one proper answer. The person the witness saw that night was not Maximilian Galactica. That is why Trillo made the effort to greet whoever it was that he saw that evening. Or good evening, as he put it. What in the world?
The defense kindly explain who it was Triller saw that evening, then.
Now, we don't have the final person in the court record, so it is the victim. Considering the ill temper of this witness, there is only one person he would greet.
It must be Regina. It's Regina, right? She's so cute.
Gross. No, Your Honor, it is not Regina. If it was Regina, Triller would have given her the engagement ring as a present.
Oh, yeah, I suppose you've got a point there.
It was Russell Barry, the victim himself, was it not? You are correct. It was indeed Russell Barry. The person you saw that evening was the victim, the ringmaster Russell Barry. That's why you greeted him, Triller. Isn't that correct? Answer the question, Mr. Quist. I think the next time the puppet's head flies off, it should just stay off.
Order! Order! How do you respond to this?
Well, wait a second! Well, at first I thought it was the old man. But once I got a better look at him, it was obviously Maximilian Galactica. Huh?
I think it is high time that we clear the air about this question. Mr. Quist obviously witnessed a single person in the area of the plaza that evening. The problem is identifying who that person was. Was it Maximilian Galactica? Or was it the ringmaster, one Mr. Russell Barry?
The prosecution argues that it was the defendant that the witness saw that night. The witness has clearly stated that he saw the defendant's 3 symbols. 3 symbols? Alright, this is getting old. Come on, man, you've got to remember them by now. Here we go again. Everyone, all together now. Ow! Yes, we know. The silk hat, cloak, and white roses. A silk hat and a cloak. Anyone could wear them. They'd even look good on me. What was that? Well, the witness has endlessly repeated that he saw Max's 3 symbols. However, how do we really know it was Maximilian Galactica? It could have been someone else dressed up as him. Possibly even Russell Barry. What?
Ms. Von Karma. You have clear evidence that the person the witness saw was the defendant.
Well,
If that's the case, then it is impossible for me to make a judgment at this point.
Yes, I think we've finally won a point on this one. That is very unfortunate. Uh-huh. You're just a little too excited for your own good, Mr. Phoenix, right?
What do you mean by that?
You merely established one thing from this witness. You established that this witness saw one person in the plaza that night. I applaud you on your effort, but
What?
who that person was can only be answered by the next witness. Huh? Your Honor, the prosecution will provide, beyond a shadow of a doubt, an answer to that question and evidence that clearly establishes one thing, that there is no one other than Maximilian Galactica responsible for this crime.
Very well. The court will take a 10-minute recess. During that time, I request the prosecution prepare their next witness. Court is now in recess.
Part 1 complete. Pug! Let's go. Yes, I would like to say thank you. December 29, 11:54 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 5.
Sweetie, you have to believe me, I didn't go anywhere near that crime scene.
So then, where were you when the murder took place?
We talked about it yesterday, remember? I was in the ringmaster's room.
And while you were there, it was the ringmaster who left the room, right?
Exactly. He told me to wait in the room because he would be right back.
That's when the ringmaster headed to the scene of the crime, right?
That's what it seems like.
But the ringmaster must have been wearing Max's costume, right?
Oh, sweetie, I just remembered. I went straight to the ringmaster's room still dressed in my stage clothes.
but when I got there, I went ahead and took the costume off.
Which means?
It means that the ringmaster could have taken his costume and went out looking like Max. Fabulous! That's a fabulously possible possibility.
Well done, Nick.
However, sweetie, why would the ringmaster want to dress up like me? Isn't that a bit strange? If you think about it, all they found at the crime scene was my silk hat. What about my cloak? Where did that go? Double,
Well, Max, I never thought of that. You should be a detective or something.
Well, I was never quite sure what to be when I grew up, magician or president. You have no idea how hard it was to make a decision.
That's really cool.
Fabulous. This mystery just keeps getting deeper. I know I'm reading way too much into this, but Maya saying it's really cool that he struggled to choose what he wanted to be when he grew up, versus Maya having, like, had her entire life laid out for her before it even began. Like, Mia resigned, and then from that moment on, Maya just had to step up and get ready to be the next master of Khura'in. No choice.
I just think it's interesting. December 29, 12:06 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 2.
Now that everyone is back, let's get started. The court is now back in session.
Miss Von Karma, please proceed with the prosecution's case.
Very well. I will now call my next witness. The pitiful clown with the unfortunate distinction of having seen the entire thing. Will Mr. Lawrence Cowles please take the stand?
Why did she just call him a pitiful clown?
The witness will state his name and occupation for the court record.
West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground.
Name and occupation.
Was that the beginning of Bel Air?
Will the witness please inform the court why he is speaking autobiographical gibberish?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just not used to being in court. I've never been in a courtroom in my life. I wasn't quite sure what joke is best suited to this sort of occasion.
What in the world are you talking about? You're in a grand hall of justice, not some comedy club. Since it's easy to see your occupation, please state your name for the court.
Oh, yeah. Maybe this joke is okay. Mom, do I have to wear pants? The sign only says no shirt, no shoes, no service. Okay. How about this? Have you met my proctologist? Dr. Seymour Butts! How's that one? But a couple of clowns who were up to no good started making
Your name.
Lawrence Cowles, professional funny man, also known as Mo the Clown.
You witnessed the scene at around 10:15 p.m. the day of the murder. Correct?
Yes it is.
Very well, Mr. Cowles. Will you please testify to what you saw that evening?
A rabbi, a priest, and a Rastafarian walked into this plaza.
Without the humor, please.
Okay.
Aww, poor Mo can't be his normal stoogy self in court. I think that might be for the best, Maya. What you witnessed?
I know. Not the greatest comedian in the world. I haven't been able to make people laugh for 10 years. No matter what I say, all I get in return is a vacant stare and polite applause. Since no one ever laughs at my jokes, I've taken to laughing at them myself. It's a bad habit, but hey, at least I'm trying. Imagine my predicament. I'm a clown who can't make people laugh. I'm almost useless. I keep trying. I even tried to come up with jokes just for today. This atmosphere is very nerve-wracking. I decided to try making everyone laugh. Seriously, everyone! What do you think of me? How am I doing?
What? Hello? Was that the entirety of the testimony? Where's the what the Angry.
Aren't we the ones supposed to be asking the questions here?
Witness?
Huh?
We will listen to your call for help after the court proceedings are over. Thus, please stick to the facts of this case. Really? You'll hear me out? Well, I'll make sure that one of my staff will be your straight man later. Oh no. Gumshoe. Thank you. I can't wait. Poor Gumshoe.
Now that that's settled, shall we begin once again with the testimony?
Of course we can. I'll talk for as long as you want. What you witnessed. The night of the murder, after practice was over, I went straight back to my room. You have no idea how tired I was that night. I was pooped. I thought I'd go straight to sleep, but before I did, I glanced out the window. That's when I saw two silhouettes. They were a bit far away though. It was the ringmaster, and he was with Max, who was wearing his cloak. I kept watching them, and all of a sudden, Max clonked the ringmaster over the head.
That's very interesting. If this eyewitness account is to be believed, I have enough to pass judgment right now.
Of course you can. There is no way that this account can be criticized.
However, the witness is a bit, how do you say, off-kilter. Almost like he has some sort of atmosphere of guilt surrounding him.
That must be because of my insincere smile.
Mr. Wright, please begin the defense's cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor. Nick, you've got to find some kind of contradiction in this testimony. I know that.
Mr. Wright.
Your Honor?
I'm afraid that if you push this witness too far, it would bring disaster upon the court. Thus, I sincerely hope you are not going to engage in pointless saber-rattling.
I understand, Your Honor. If you cause this clown to stray from the facts, I'll hold you responsible. Why am I responsible? I'm not the one with the corny jokes. Well, I mean, sometimes you are, Phoenix. But okay, we'll let the press in the wrong place on this one. What you witnessed. No. Okay. 2, 3. Let it go straight to sleep before I did a glance out the window. You just happened to glance out of the window? You could say that. You could also say a peeked, stared, glimpsed, peeped, eyeballed.
Mr. Cowles!
Oh, I guess synonyms aren't allowed either. What should I do? I wonder if I should press him further on this issue? Exactly why did you look out of your window that night? Why? Why? Clowns don't need a reason to look out their windows, do they? That's not what I meant. I meant that, well, when we spoke yesterday. Once I had tucked myself into bed, I heard this amazing noise. It was incredibly loud. It sounded like a giant thump. Oh yeah! I forgot about that. You forgot. Your Honor, the witness looked out of his window upon hearing a loud sound. He did not just simply glance out of his window that night. Oh yeah? That's right. I forgot to mention that thump, didn't I? Ow. That's not something you just forget to mention. Yeah, what she said. I believe it would be best if Mo were to revise his testimony.
Very well. Mr. Cowles, please revise your testimony.
This should start turning the tables in our favor. I heard a huge noise outside the window, and that's what made him look outside. What was the sound like? Well, I guess it kind of sounded like... I guess you could say...
Mr. Cowles, may the court remind you that humor is unnecessary.
Ugh, how'd you know that I was gonna make a joke? I guess that the sound sounded like I suppose it sounded like someone getting hit with something very hard. Yep, that's what it sounded like, honestly.
Someone getting hit. Huh?
What then? You went to look out the window and you saw... Okay. So we're listening at, like, 2 sounds now, right? Max clonked the ringmaster over the head, but what was the first sound if this is the clonk? You say you saw the ringmaster get clonked over the head?
Yes, I did. It's the climax of my story.
He really does enjoy the completely random non sequitur. What would you say the victim was struck with?
You mean the weapon? I have no idea. The weapon wasn't found at the murder scene, right?
That's not what I meant. You did say you did see everything, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I suppose I did. Wait, no I didn't. I didn't see a weapon.
Mo, did you or did you not see the crime of murder committed that night? I will not permit you to harass my witness in this manner. You'd better have an excellent reason for attacking this poor, poor clown. Because if you don't, you know what is waiting for you. A nice penalty. Oh boy, that's a big one.
Oh, isn't this a bit melodramatic?
So what will it be then, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Do you have any clear basis to believe that my witness did not see the crime?
Of course I do!
I've got a great reason to make my claim. And I suppose you will be telling us all that great reason?
Of course I will.
The reason is the witness's very own testimony.
What is the meaning of that, Mr. Wright?
Mo said that he heard a sound like a thump of someone getting hit.
He did say that.
However, Mo just stated the following under oath.
I kept watching them, all of a sudden Max clonked the ringmaster over the head.
If Mo is to be believed when he says he looked out the window upon hearing a sound, there is no way that he could have seen Max clonk anyone.
In 1972, a crack clown unit!
Mr. Carls, how do you respond to Mr. Wright's assessment?
He didn't commit. These clowns promptly escaped from a maximum security clown car.
Mr. Carls, are you reciting the C-Team theme to anger this court?
No. I'm just stalling for time while I jog my memory.
Great job, Nick!
These types of witnesses always seem to have a selective memory. You just have to peel back the layers of the clown makeup to find the truth. Well,
You're back from your jog.
Well, it pretty much happened the way I said.
Pretty much?
When I looked out my window that night, the ringmaster was already face down in the snow. The prosecution helped me fill in the gaps of my statement.
The prosecution did what?
Von Karma.
Tampering with witnesses again. That's illegal. That's illegal, ma'am.
Now you're saying that you did not see the defendant clonk the ringmaster.
Yes. When I looked out my window, the ringmaster already checked out.
Checked out.
Yep. He was on permanent vacation, as they say.
Mr. Carls.
Your Honor?
You did not witness the actual crime, however you still say you saw the criminal, correct?
Yes, exactly. The ringmaster was slumped over and I saw someone's silhouette next to him.
Very well. Then please testify to the silhouette you saw. I expect the truth. And if I even catch a hint of a joke from you, I will put you in a holding cell until you learn court etiquette. Got it?
Got it.
The silhouette.
It was a bit far away, but that shadow could only have belonged to Max. There's no doubting it, especially since I saw his uppity symbols. His silk hat, that black cloak, they were all there.
You're missing one.
His face was silhouetted, but there was no doubt that it was him. His cloak was fluttering in the wind, so I couldn't really see what he was carrying.
It does seem as if the defendant was at the scene of the crime.
It took the clown long enough to get his facts straight. But whatever. This should finally be good enough, yes?
It is decisive testimony.
Was Max really at the crime scene that night?
He said he wasn't there. We have to believe in that.
Alright, Mr. Wright, commence your cross-examination.
Silhouette.
Where did he say? Silk hat, the black cloak. Where is our poster? With Max's 3 famous symbols. The white roses.
You say you saw all of Max's uppity symbols?
I suppose so.
Silk Hat and the cloak, right?
No.
Everyone knows that Maximilian Galactic has 3 uppity symbols. 3 symbols? Yay! Everyone get ready. All together now. Silk Hat, cloak, white roses. What the? Who cares if he knew that there were 3 or not? He saw what he saw, and he saw the symbols. He just forgot to mention one. Isn't that right, Mo? Do you like pie? I love pie. 3.141519. Silence, fool. You had to respond with the whole truth. No fractions.
Order. Order.
Mo, you didn't see the roses, did you? To be honest, there weren't any roses on the person I saw.
The crime scene was dark. It's obvious it was too dark to see that kind of detail.
But the witness said he was able to see the silhouette of the criminal's face.
Hi, BJ. Stickers, Pog.
Love that for you. The music is so good. Ace Attorney 2, my fucking beloved.
But the witness said he was able to see the silhouette of the criminal's face.
Not to mention that the roses are white. There's no way he could have missed them.
Then the roses must have fallen off when the defendant assaulted the victim.
If that was the case, then the police would have found them near the crime scene.
Mr. Wright, are these white roses truly material to the facts of this case?
Clearly not. He is just toying with this court.
I got her on the ropes now. These seemingly insignificant facts have never failed to lead me to the truth yet.
By cooking and lacking. Enjoy your cooking. I hope your food turns out really well. Thank you for the lack.
Someone is toying with the court, but it's not me. Your Honor, do you recall Trillo's testimony? There's no way I could mistake someone wearing those 3 ridiculous symbols. How can you mistake someone with that crazy getup and his nose stuck up so high? How could you mistake someone wearing such a snobby 3-piece getup?
Trillo saw them all. Trillo saw all 3 of Max's symbols. However, this witness claims there were no white roses on the person he saw. There is absolutely no doubt that this is a contradiction. Get him, Phoenix!
Now what am I supposed to think? One is supposed to disregard the pointless, but this...
Judge, forget the roses. Think about his other testimony. The witness has stated without a doubt that he saw Maximilian Galactica. Nothing else matters. Let's wrap this case up now.
Your Honor, it may be trivial, but it does cast doubt on the prosecution's case.
Frankly, I have my doubts about this witness. It seems that, unlike wine, the witness has not grown more mature with age.
I'm not mature.
I've come to a conclusion. I'm 99% certain that this witness saw the defendant. However, my remaining 1% of doubt is quite reasonable, which means that for my peace of mind, I'm going to request a bit more testimony.
What?
There are no contradictions in his next statement. I am prepared to issue a ruling.
A ruling?
Nick, this is your last chance.
The silhouette part 2. There's no doubt in my mind. There were no white roses that night. However, all the other symbols were there. I'm equally sure of that. Especially the silk hat. There's no way I could forget seeing the decorations on it. He was wearing it the entire time that he was on the scene.
Very interesting, Mo.
Mr. Wright, you've got one last chance at this.
Just one chance?
I will not allow even the slightest hint of badgering against this witness. If you are going to prove to me that there's a contradiction with Mr. Cole's statement, you'd better have at least a shred of evidence to back up your accusation.
I've only got a single shot as this. I've got to be careful.
I understand, Your Honor. One chance is all I'll need.
Silhouette part 2. No doubt there were no white roses. All the other symbols were there. Silk hat, no way I could forget. He was wearing it the entire time that he was on the scene. And yet... it was found there, so it must have come off at some point.
This wouldn't happen to be the silk hat you saw that night, would it? Yep, that's it. That's the hat he was wearing that night.
No question in your mind?
Exactly how would one mistake a thing like that?
I see.
Is there some sort of problem, Mr. Wright?
Miss Von Karma, where exactly was the silk hat found? Don't you always ask these questions? It was found at the crime scene. The crime scene. That means
The silk hat fell off at the crime scene.
However, the witness clearly testified to the contrary. The witness stated that he was wearing it the entire time that he was on the scene. No! That's not true!
Order! 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 Mr. Cowles.
Yes, Your Honor.
What is the meaning of all of this? You are old enough to know better than to behave like this in court.
Hey, that's just not right. That's so harsh.
What's not right here is your eyesight and your memory, amongst other things.
Why are you being so mean to me? What did I do? Let me guess. You just didn't like my jokes or something, right? You didn't have to go and insult my eyesight or my memory. They're both great. Seriously, why? Just because you were sitting above me, and no matter how old I am, I'm like younger than you.
Enough of these childish outbursts, Mr. Cowles. Who do you think you are?
I saw him, I saw it, I swear I saw him. Look at this. Even if he didn't have his roses, he was still wearing his dumb silk hat.
they're not okay, no, thanks for asking.
I'm telling the truth.
He's turned into a bratty little kid.
It's pitiful, isn't it?
He left the scene wearing that dumb silk hat. He was there!
He left the scene?
What's the matter, Nick?
There's something I've been mulling over for a while now. Mo,
What do you want?
you just said that he left the scene. Exactly how did the murderer leave the scene of the crime? Genuinely concerned for everybody in Ace Attorney. Yeah, me too.
What?
He went... What do you mean, how did he leave the scene? Can't ask me that.
Mr. Phoenix Wright is badgering the witness, Your Honor.
This witness's testimony is so full of holes, Miss Von Karma's protest is useless.
You've got a point. Let's hear what the witness has to say on this matter. Is that alright with you, little guy?
Don't talk to me like I'm a little baby.
You were acting like one, so...
Besides, what kind of stupid question is how did he leave the crime scene? The answer's obvious. He just turned around and walked away.
That's what I expected you'd say. You're sure that's how it happened?
Say what?
Huh? I'm not sure I know exactly where you're going with this. Lawyers nowadays sure do love to harp on the smallest things. Do you have any proof to counter his story as to how the criminal left the scene?
Yes. The crime photo, right? Only one set of footprints. Look at this picture. The problem is the footprints in the snow.
Footprints.
In this photo, we can clearly see the footprints of the victim. However, where are the criminal's footprints? They aren't there.
Good job, Phoenix!
So Mo, exactly how did the criminal escape the scene? Your Honor, this witness has already proven that his testimony is completely unreliable. I move to strike all of this witness's testimony from the court record.
I agree. This clown's testimony is as rickety as the clown car he came to court in.
Wait just a second! You guys can't just ignore everything I've said. Fine, I'll tell you the truth this time. You wait a second.
I think you've said more than enough for today.
That didn't hurt. I'm sick and tired of listening to you anyways. I'll give you the real deal this time, I swear. I don't know why, but I get the feeling things are gonna get worse before they get better.
Yeah, you and me both, Maya.
Mr. Lawrence Cowles,
Yes?
the testimony you've provided up until now has been false.
It hasn't been false, I haven't lied, it's just...
It's just what?
It's just I was a bit confused on the bit about the criminal leaving the scene. Especially since Von Karma and her whip told me not to talk about what I really saw. Franziska, this is... You can't keep doing this.
Order, order. I will have order. Franziska Von Karma, how could you?
She's so smug about it. Your Honor, if you had heard the truth from this witness, you would have exactly the same opinion as I have.
What opinion is that?
It's not funny. She's a girl, but she can do whatever she likes, you're right.
That's enough out of you. I'm going to listen to what he has to say. Now then, let's hear the truth about what you say you saw, Mr. Carls.
You're not gonna believe this, but it's all true, I tell you. Try not to waste our time with your idiotic drivel. Here we go. Everybody ready for this one? The truth. Now it's time for our next segment. Mo knows. Everything that I've said up until now has been the truth. When I looked out the window, the ringmaster was down and Max was standing above him. He wasn't wearing his white roses, but he was wearing the silk hat. That's when I saw he. This is the truth now, get ready for it. He flew! He jumped up and flew through the air. He flew right off and disappeared into the darkness. Bro? That's why there were no footprints. Flying people don't leave footprints. I told you it wasn't funny. Do you believe me now?
Well, that was, how do you put this into words?
Maximilian Galactica is a world-class magician, but to leave the scene of a crime by flying, there's no way that actually happened.
You're right.
Why is she right? You believe the other witnesses? Why won't you believe me? Especially since the best part of the story.
To be honest, this is the first time I've heard of a flying criminal. What do you think about this witness's testimony, Mr. Wright?
Right now, I can't believe any of this. I'm not even sure if this day hasn't been some kind of Kafkaesque dream. Oh my god, Phoenix says Kafkaesque. Oh! Now, do you think it's still a dream? Huh, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Suppose I will let you all in on my thinking regarding this matter. The criminal disappeared into the sky. I'd love to believe that, but I just can't wrap my head around how that could actually happen.
You imbecile.
If you disregard a need for proof, Miss Von Karma's case is sound. However, I've got the feeling that this case is in dire need of more investigation. Thus, I will conclude today's proceedings at this point. It's an undisputed fact that the criminal left no footprints at the scene. Tomorrow, I want us to find out the reason behind this mystery of mysteries. I believe that's enough for today. Court is adjourned.
December 29, 2:33 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 5. Hey, sweeties, what in the world is going on? That's what I want to know. They say the criminal flew off into the air and disappeared. Max, I can't believe I'm asking this, but you didn't fly that night, did you? I know you didn't mean to ask me such a fabulously stupid question. I can't fly whenever I please, it's not that easy. But it looks so effortless for you on stage. It's not that simple, I'm not actually flying on stage. I use invisible wires and have them hoist me through the air. Wow, you just taught me the secret to your magic. No! I broke the first rule. The cardinal rule, the only rule. I'm sorry, Max. I made you break a magician's creed to never reveal the secret to their tricks. Nick, what do we do now? All we can do now is hope we find the flying criminal in court tomorrow. Great idea. Let's do our best and catch this sucker. To be continued. Plugging. Yes, I would like to save my progress. Okay. I am in fact feeling a little headachy and gross and also want to watch ALGS. So I think we're actually going to do a super short stream tonight and call it here so that I can go rest and recover. Sorry for cutting it short, Ali, but thank you for hanging out. This case is really strange. We haven't got much of it left. The next investigation portion should be pretty fun, actually. The case sort of picks up from here in my opinion, even though it maybe makes less sense. But thank you guys for hanging out. We will have more of this case on Tuesday, and there will be notifications in my Discord if there will be any streams in between then. No one I know is live right now, so we're just going to end it here. Thanks for hanging out. Bye!